It was the middle of summer, the kind of scorching day where the air feels heavy and you can smell the hot asphalt from the road. I'd been working all morning fixing a busted irrigation line and figured I'd earn myself a break. The subdivision's pool wasn't far from my ranch, and because part of their access road cut across my property, I'd negotiated a deal years ago. In exchange for that easement, I had full rights to use their pool whenever I pleased. It was written in black and white, signed by their HOA board at the time. So I strolled in that afternoon, ball cap on, towel slung over my shoulder. I nodded at a few neighbors I knew, slipped into the cool water, and finally felt the heat lift off me. I wasn't in the pool 5 minutes before I heard the familiar screech of Karen's voice. "What do you think you're doing here?" I looked up, and there she was, the HOA president herself, storming across the concrete like she owned the place. She jabbed a finger toward me. "This pool is for residents only. You don't belong here." I swam a lazy lap, then leaned against the edge. "Actually, Karen, I do. Easement agreement, signed in 2008. I've got as much right to be here as you do." She turned red, sputtering. "That agreement was with the previous board. It's invalid now." Before I could even argue, she stomped off, phone in hand. 5 minutes later, 2 police officers showed up. Karen rushed to them, pointing at me like she'd caught a criminal. "That man is trespassing. Arrest him." The officers approached, one of them clearly trying not to laugh. "Sir, can we see some ID?" I got out, dripping wet, and calmly pulled my wallet from my bag. Alongside my driver's license, I slipped out another card, one Karen had never seen before. The officer looked at it, then straightened up immediately. "Everything checks out," he said with a grin. "In fact, ma'am," he turned to Karen, "you might want to tread carefully. He's not just allowed here, he's your boss." Karen blinked. "What are you talking about?" That's when I explained it, slow and clear so everyone lounging at the pool could hear. Not only did I have a signed easement granting me pool access, but over the years, I'd quietly invested in several HOA management companies in the county. And as of 6 months ago, I had controlling interest in the very firm contracted to run her HOA. In other words, I literally ran the association that Karen pretended to control. The officers chuckled, shook my hand, and walked away. Karen, meanwhile, looked like she'd swallowed a lemon whole. She tried to backpedal, claiming she hadn't been informed. But it didn't matter. The neighbors were laughing, whispering, pointing. Her authority evaporated right there on the pool deck. I didn't just let it end there. A week later, I attended their board meeting, sat right at the head of the table. When Karen tried to order me out, the property manager, who reported directly to me, reminded her in front of everyone that I was her superior. I let her rant for a while, then calmly pulled out the pool agreement again. "This paper says I get to swim whenever I want. This contract says I get to manage this HOA. Karen, I don't need your permission for either." She resigned a month later, humiliated and broken. Word spread fast in the neighborhood, and for once, people saw me not as the grumpy rancher next door, but as the man who'd put Karen in her place. Now, every summer, I make a point of showing up at that pool at least once a week. I stretch out on a lounge chair, dip in the water, wave at the neighbors, and smile every time someone brings up the story of the day Karen called the cops, only to find out the man she was trying to kick out actually ran the entire HOA.